Hello, and welcome to the Base, Big and Small Screens. Today, today I'd like to talk about a show that I have not finished watching, and that is a little bit unusual. Usually, the things that I talk about, I have watched all of. However, today I am currently in the middle of season 4 of a 5-season show called The Magicians. Now, I talked about this on You Should Be Reading a while back because I read the first book of The Magicians. I have yet to read the second and third. But I don't need to have read the second and third to talk about this show, and I don't believe that I need to have watched all of it to recommend it to you. So, what is The Magicians about? Well, it is based on the series of novels by Lev Grossman, and it is one of the ways that I saw it advertised and talked about, in book form at least, was like adult Harry Potter. And that's kind of, it's kind of that, but it's a little bit different. What it really is imagine adults, you know, people going to college, 18, 19-year-olds, and a little bit older, who end up discovering that magic is real and going to a university to learn magic and how to be a magician. What would that look like? That's kind of a rough basis of the show itself. Now, do I recommend this show? Absolutely. Even though I haven't seen it all. What they have done in the 3.5-ish seasons, pardon me, that I have seen is amazing. They do such wonderful things with characters and their character development, the arcs that they go through. The story that is being told is both very much like, how to put this? It's very much both an homage to fantasy stories as well as an homage to urban fantasy stories, which are two different things. But also, it takes those and takes the entire concept of a narrative and does meta things with it. It deals in meta narrative a fair bit in this show because, and here's where we're going to get into spoilers. So if you haven't seen any of The Magicians and you want to, or have been wanting to, this is your cue to stop the video and go watch at least the first season, maybe a couple episodes into the second season before you come back. Because I'm going to be talking about spoilers of the first season at least. I'm going to allude at other stuff, but we're getting into spoiler territory, okay? Okay, cool. Let's go. So, one of the things they do in the first season of The Magicians is it seems very much like they're telling the story in the books with some changes for adaptation because you're adapting something. There's going to be changes simply because the medium of a novel is different than the medium of a 13-episode television series. There's stuff you can do in one that you can't do in the other. You can have a broader narrative being told in print than you can in a show because in print it's words on a page. In a show you have to actually, it has to be shown. You're on screen. This all needs to be filmed and acted and whatnot. There's limitations on the media, and they knew this going in. I'm pretty sure the writers of this show absolutely knew this going in and counted on it, because what seemed like an adaptation eventually ended up showing itself as basically they went their own way. They diverged from what happens in the novel over the course of that first season. The character arcs and whatnot are mostly the same, slightly diverging, and then you get towards the end where you find out that it's not just a diversion. No, no, no. Because one of the characters in this, a background character who has been doing things, someone by the name of Jane Chatwin, who anyone who has read the books or maybe even seen the show will know who that means, has had time manipulation powers and is causing a temporal loop to happen. And it has happened, like, I think 39 times or 29 or something like that. It's happened a lot of times. The dean of Breakbill's University, School of Magic, is one of the few people that know there's a time loop happening. He remembers all of the loops. None of the people, like none of the other main cast, know that this loop has happened over and over and over again. And every time they're changing something. And in this one, what they change is that one of the main characters, Julia, does not attend Breakbills. And that thing, that change that they made in having her not attend Breakbills causes wider changes and diverges the narrative away from the book. So what they have done, in essence, is the show has basically said, we're not changing what happens in the book. What happens in the book still happens. It's just a different timeline. And we're doing something else. That's why we're changing it, technically. Even though Julia did not also attend in the book, they're kind of playing off that and say, we're doing our own thing. There's even a bit where when this gets revealed, because at that point, I believe the character of Jane Chatwin is dead, there will be no more time loops. So the Dean Fogg says to one of the characters that, we don't know what's going to happen next. It is a performance, a line that I feel is not only said directly to the characters in this scene, but also to the viewers. And I really like what they're doing there. They then go into season 2, which has the main antagonist of the book and season 1, who in the book dies at the end of the book. He continues on for a while in season 2, joining up with a character, and things just get far and far different. There is stuff that happens in the world of Fillory, which is another world that the characters end up going to. They delve into that. That's stuff that happens in book 2, but I don't know anything about book 2. I haven't read it. But this show goes places. There is a lot of deep, meaningful character development for everybody, because things just get pushed to a point where these people have to change and grow in order to survive. All of the actors in this series they're just amazing. So amazing in what they've done, in how they're doing. Almost everybody gets a chance to be evil, which is pretty cool. And I cannot give enough props to the production value and the acting and the way it handles sensitive material. Because there are content warning, there's frank discussion and portrayal of horrible things. One of the main characters ends up getting raped, and another one ends up dying and getting brought back. But because of what she experienced when she was dead, and or rather a Niffin, she ends up having like no real emotions and just be wanting to do the magic, and she gets brought back into her body again and is still trying to come to grips with who she is as a person again. There is Margot, who seems to be early on like just an absolute bitch and a massive like a party person. She enjoys a good time and doesn't seem to ever want anything serious. She just wants to enjoy her life. She gets thrust into the role of responsibility along with her best friend Elliot, and how they both go on this journey over the course of a couple of seasons of adapting to this and embracing their roles as leaders is amazing. Like, there's just so much good character development, and the actors are so good at portraying it. It's amazing. I would highly recommend it to everyone. Though, as I said, content warnings, they talk about stuff. There's death. Suicide is also covered in a couple of episodes. There's just. I can't praise it enough. It's quite good, and everyone in it is quite good. So if you're interested and you liked the books, or if just the idea of like a more adult magical school setting is something that might interest you, then by all means, I think you should check out The Magicians TV series. I'm going to finish watching it with a very, very good friend of mine, and we are going to enjoy the hell out of it. So, yeah, give that a shot, but be warned, there is some tough subject matter that gets brought up, dealt with in a rather unflinching manner. And if you are triggered by that at all, it's something to be aware of going in. I believe they do mention in like a warning bar either before or after about the content matter. I know the one particular episode where they dealt with suicide, they did have a bit afterwards before the credits about with the suicide helpline. They put that out there, which I'm wonderful. It's wonderful that they did that. That they are caring enough to know that this can affect people. The other thing of note that I will make mention of is that it is one of the most diverse casts I've seen. A wonderfully ensemble, diverse cast of people, different ethnicities, and different orientations. Because, oh my god, uh, everyone in this show is some level of queer, and that's amazing. It's just I love it. So yeah, if anything that I've said in this video has gotten your interest piqued for The Magicians, then by all means, go and check it out. I'm glad to be back making videos, and I'm hopefully going to make more going forward on a more regular basis. So yes, you all stay safe, take care out there, do everything you need to do. And if you want to watch The Magicians, then go check it out. It is a sci-fi series, so you should be able to find it somewhere. Where you find it, that's not up to me. You do you. So yes, check out The Magicians, and I'll see you next time.